chocolate dessert you could possibly imagine. Calling all chocoholics, calling all chocolate lovers. Chef Tony Notaro in the house with the delicious desserts from Delizioso. And this is their latest creation for QVC, a 3.5 pound chocolate lovers mousse cake. 14 slices, layers, delicious ingredients. I mean, all kinds of decadence in chocolate here, Chef
Absolutely.
Tony.
This is what we would call the top shelf creme of the creme.
Okay.
This is made European style. So we're talking about, if you're a chocolate lover, that's why we call it the chocolate lover's cake. I just want you to look as I take my fork through this. That is what we call pâte à bon, which is a fancy word of French mousse. It's actually made by cooking the eggs and sugar together, so it's not as like a light mousse where you take like a Cool Whip type thing and pudding. This is actually made almost like a custard.
Yes.
So it's rich, yet it's light. So it has thick and it leaves a beautiful chocolate flavor on your mouth, and that's what you see here. And then if you look on the bottom, you have chocolate devil's food cake.
Wow, as the crust, the bottom crust.
Correct.
Yes.
And then look at the back what they did. That's something you don't see anymore. That's actually a sponge cake. That's not like...
So that's not like a baking kind of tape or paper?
That's part of the cake.
That's actually part of the cake.
That's correct.
When you look at it in full size, everybody, look at the beautiful decoration going all the way around this cake. What's that dark layer on top, Chef Tony?
That is ganache. So it's a chocolate ganache
just
made with...
horrible.
Yeah.
This additional chocolate layer.
And it gets even better. So you have a chocolate ganache on top that's actually made with light and dark chocolate.
Yep.
And then the red hearts are actually white chocolate. They're handmade.
See this? This is that sponge cake, you guys.
Yes.
That is a sponge cake, like tape almost, going all the way around this cake.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this thing is gorgeous.
And then
just
what we
gorgeous.
do, we take the red that you see there and we comb it through the sponge, and then it's wrapped around the devil's food cake. Then we add on the mousse. Then we put the ganache. We put our handmade, and that's made with white chocolate, by the way, the hearts.
Yes.
And then underneath it, see that little swirl holding them up? That's a dark chocolate ganache.
Oh.
This is chocolate lovers heaven.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Delizioso is a company that only sells to white glove restaurants, 5-star restaurants. So it has to be the best of the best. They spare no expense. Every ingredient is made from the best there is.
Well, you've loved their limoncello cake. You've loved their tiramisu cake. You've loved their chocolate hazelnut cake. But now this is for the chocolate lover in all of you. This is all about how many ways can we make layers of chocolate and put it into one of the best Valentine's desserts or a birthday cake. I mean, this, even though it has the hearts, it could just be for someone you love. Pre-scored, not cut all the way through, but they cut it that way so that you'd have the perfect slice so that everybody gets a heart.
That's correct.
On their slice. That gives you 14 servings here in this 3.5 pound cake. I got to tell you, I'm tired of talking about it. May I have a fork?
I'm ready for you. I got a piece of cake for you.
Let's just cut to the chase here, Sharon Page. Let me just dive right in here because this thing
is the best
looks...
part.
And look there, there's where you can really see that devil's food cake on that bottom layer. Look at that. And then all of that incredible decadence in more of a French style.
Look at that.
Chocolate mousse. I know.
I'm actually going to watch your reaction on this. I'm not saying a word.
Oh my gosh. That's sinful right there. Are we still a family channel right now? That is really, really amazing. And I have to say, I enjoy chocolate. There are some people who are like total chocoholics. I wouldn't put myself in that boat. I like chocolate. I first thought, is it going to be too heavy and rich for me? But that mousse, you're so right.
Yes.
It has more, I don't know, viscosity to it than an American whipped chocolate mousse, but it's still so almost frothy and light when you take a bite of it and it goes into your mouth.
Absolutely. And that's because the technique they use to make this is what they used to do in Germany and France. It's the old way of making a mousse. It's made more like a custard or like a zabillon. So, I mean, you can just see it. You can see the texture, but look at the presentation on the screen.
Gorgeous.
It's elegant. It's expensive. It's delicious. It's celebration cake for any time, not just the 14th that's coming up.
How long can I keep this in my freezer, Chef Tony?
1 year.
Oh my gosh.
So you can take it out the night before, put it in your fridge, let it defrost that way.
Yes.
Slice off what you want.
Serve it cold, chilled. What do you think?
I like it just like you tasted it now. It's almost at room temperature.
Almost room temperature.
It's kind of like you do with a good cheesecake. Because then you bring out all those flavors. And you can see just the texture alone. I love what you see there. It's that thick, nice custard, and then it's topped with the ganache. I'm proud to say that every single cake we sell here is handmade from scratch.
May I serve one to Sharon Fage?
I would love for her to taste this.
Because she's kind of stalking.
This is the funny part. You guys couldn't see this at home, but every time Jill was saying something, I was just kind of
Getting it a little closer.
Does she see me?
Yeah, all right, so dive in there.
First of
As
all,
our like gourmet foodinista,
Wow.
I'd love to know your take on this.
I can't believe how it looks. I mean,
amazing.
we didn't just add this to make it look fancy for your table. Like, here, why don't you do this at home?
Right.
This is
No,
how it
this is
comes
how it's
to
coming to you, right?
Wait, I want to see if I can do this so that
Okay,
you
go.
can see it. Look at this ganache, which is
Oh my gosh.
separate on the top.
Yes. Don't you just love saying the word ganache?
Gosh, it's just fabulous.
I
Look at
know.
that. Look at that. Look at the way that just folded with that mousse.
Sharon's so much more ladylike with her bites than I am.
Yeah, but wait, it's about to hit her. That was
She'll
the first
take a
hit.
second.
You know what? You're so right about the whole European custardy kind of way of
Yes.
doing
Yes.
things, because most mousses in the United States are almost really fluffy, like a lot
Like
of air
chocolate whipped
has
cream.
been whipped into
Yes.
them. There's no air in this, but it's like a very light, creamy
Yes.
custard. But it's not, it's got a rich flavor, but it's not going to scare anybody. who's
Yeah,
not like a
right?
huge
That's what I was
chocolate fan.
saying. Like, it's not too dense. It's not over the top.
Man,
it's
that's
delicious.
I almost want
know.
to eat it with a spoon instead of a fork because of
And
that
you could.
texture on the
And
inside.
You absolutely could.
That
Okay.
is awesome.
Did
Thank
you see
so
she
much.
took one more piece? She
did. I
took
took
one
another
more
piece.
bite.
Yeah, this is a cake
And you
can't
will
put
too.
down.
I mean,
you just can't put
it
down.
looks beautiful. So I want you to think too, Valentine's Day, like you might be thinking, it's just me and my honey. I don't know that I need this big of a cake. But let's also think, are there any special birthdays coming up? Maybe you save this and do this for Easter. Maybe you do this for Mother's Day. Maybe this is, gosh, if your daughter is 12, 13, 14, and you're looking for a special birthday cake for that teenage party, let me tell you, the kids like chocolate, they're gonna love this cake. And again, to Sharon's point, didn't even think of that. A lot of times when we have desserts here, Chef Tony, our food stylist will embellish them a little bit.
Yes.
This is how your cake comes, everybody, and 700 of you have now dialed in for this.
Thank
we
you.
didn't bring in a lot of them. So I have to tell you, if it is something that you're interested in, if you've loved this brand, and so many of their cakes have been consistent bestsellers, perennial sellouts, customer top rated from this bakery, here is your chance to get their newest cake, the Chocolate Lovers Mousse Cake. Will you show me another slice and take me through the layers, Chef Tony?
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Sorry to stop your
You
in
caught me.
bite.
I had to have a bite. I can't talk about this and not
We had to
eat
make
it.
it a chocolate mousse party, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so tell me all
So-
these layers. And remember, this is not like mass produced. Every one of these cakes
Handmade.
made from scratch,
Yes.
handmade, layer by layer by layer.
So we have our chocolate devil's food cake, which is light in itself.
Yep.
Then we have that pâte à bon, which is that beautiful European custard that's it's thick, yet it's light
Yes.
and rich.
It's not heavy, dense like a cheesecake.
Correct, exactly.
It is lighter than that.
Correct.
And you won't realize it till you put it in your mouth. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, it becomes almost frothy in your mouth.
Then you got that chocolate ganache topping, as you can see right there. And then you have the white chocolate that's built on the top in our heart shape.
Love
And then
that.
that dark chocolate in the back, but I want to show this. It's
Look at
like it's
this.
being presented to you.
Look
the
at that.
curtains are up. You have that beautiful
Gorgeous.
sponge on the back. Just a great salute.
Love it. We started with 1,500 of these. There's 500 left, and that's it. If you're wanting this for Valentine's, could I cut it into quarters and keep out some and freeze the rest and then just
Absolutely.
bring it out as I want to? That
Absolutely.
might be the way to do it. If you're wanting to do a dessert buffet, this satisfies the chocolate lovers in the family, right? It's just
Absolutely.
beautiful. I would be shocked if you got this at home and were disappointed. You will be
You won't be.
enjoying every bite. You won't. You're
You won't
right,
be.
Chef Tony.
I promise you that.
Stay on the line.